floor, where on one side you can see him be just a total defensive pest, and then at the other, it seemed like, especially as the game went on, we saw more from his floor vision.
Yeah, I would say Hugo and the whole team were just pressuring relentlessly the whole game. That's what we asked them to do, and I think he ended up on the ball handlers a lot. Particularly down the stretch, you could see that he was kind of wearing it a little bit. But that was an excellent tone that he and our backcourt set throughout the course of the game. And then you could just tell that he was developing a bit of a feel for the way they were guarding, the way that our team needed to play. And I thought that he created some advantages, whether that we didn't capitalize on. He might have just had a tough roll around the rim or a kick out that we missed, but I thought he was really composed down the stretch.
We talked a little bit about how you don't have a traditional point guard on this roster. How did those opportunities benefit him? You think some other guys to be able to step into that role?
Yeah, I would consider Max Shulga a traditional point guard. I think he's pretty composed. I mean, Baylor and Hugo, both I would say are not in that category, but at the same time, like I don't know that labeling changes what they're able to do.
Yeah, I'm saying, like in terms of like guys who don't do it a ton, getting the opportunity to do that. How do you think
I think these reps are excellent for them, and I don't think it's unexpected that they play well. Memphis is a pretty heavy ball pressure team. I thought that they handled the backcourt pressure well. There were some moments throughout the course of the game where we got a little frazzled, but I think for the most part we showed pretty good composure. Our bigs did a good job of giving our ball handlers some space, and those guys made plays when it mattered.
Matt, Charles wasn't on your guys' roster, but he came in and gave you a double-double. What was the process of getting him here for this
team? So we found out he was going to join the team shortly before we got started with day one, and he did not participate in the live portion day one, but he came in day two. Again, as we talked about earlier, terminology and concepts, he was behind in that regard, but it was just clear that that guy can make an impact in a game, and you saw that throughout the course of the game today, and I think he was huge for us.
Yeah, I know that this is still soon maybe to say that, but what kind of role do you envision for Hugo González on the floor as he becomes more familiar with the system?
Yeah, I mean, for the Summer League team, I'd say what you saw tonight or this afternoon is exactly what we're looking for him to do. Pressure the ball, space the floor, be ready to shoot, handle the ball, make plays for others, attack the basket. Again, I thought his aggression, attacking the paint was excellent, and some plays he finished, some plays he didn't, and I think that's going to kind of even out going forward.
Yeah, what about off the court? How are you seeing him, like in terms of relationship with his teammates, like getting to know the franchise? How are you seeing Hugo?
Great. We're all once you get out to Vegas, we all kind of don't get together all that often. We had a team dinner last night, and he's sitting around a table laughing with some of the guys, and that's what you want to see. We're kind of manufacturing team chemistry over the course of a 2-3 week summer league experience, and that's just kind of how it works. And I think the guys are making the best of it.
What did you see?
You've been on the bench for a long time, but first time as a head coach. What was different about being the one to be standing and kind of yelling things out, and what was that experience like for you?
Personally, not having a monitor to look back at so many plays that you have questions about. You just kind of have to process the game in real time, whereas like in my particular role, I'm often kind of looking back to see what happened, either on offense or defense, communicating with the front bench coaches. Otherwise, it's much more communication with the players. I would say that's the biggest thing that I've felt is making sure we get our point guards get us in the right stuff. We're continuing to pressure the ball. Something player has a question, they're coming to me. That happens very rarely, if at all, during the regular season. But those I would say were the main things.
Did you have to kind of figure out if you were going to be a yeller or like more quiet, or is that something that just like you just have an instinct? Like, did you have to kind of talk to different people and figure out like what your communication style was going to be?
Just kind of happened. I would say I was louder out there than I typically would consider myself to be. In practice, I was also had moments where I felt compelled to let a couple yells out, and that's not normally my nature, but that's what the game calls for.
What stood out for you from Jordan today?
I mean, you can just tell that he has a good feel for what he needs to do to impact winning, whether that be hawking on-ball defense. You could tell that that's what he took pride in, but run and pick and roll, making great reads. I thought his decision-making was excellent, and then knocking down some shots. I don't think there was a hole in his game. Again, I think our team in general, we drove into a crowd a little bit, but that may have been some off-ball spacing that we can clean up going forward.
With Charles, when you bring a guy like that in, do you have an idea of like how much he might end up winning with the roster potentially, or is it too early to tell a guy like that?
That's not really my call. job, along with our coaching staff, is to try to maximize this roster. And he's a great player, and he's helping us at Summer League.
Max took on more playmaking responsibilities at VCU last year. What have you seen just in terms of how comfortable he's become running, especially the pick and roll, and being able to initiate the offense?
Yeah, I trust him a lot. I've only been around him for a week, so I don't know that I would say he's progressed more than what I saw right out of the gate. But as I said when I first spoke about him, I think he does everything pretty well. So he's very solid, and you know what you're getting with him. And I think he's only going to improve as the course of Summer League and the rest of his career goes on.
And then you talk about the guard setting the tone defensively, especially in the backcourt. I mean, he was someone they couldn't shake him on screens and everything. What did you see from just the pressure he's able to apply, the length of the floor?
Yeah, now that's something we did see from him at VCU as well, where I kind of talked to him about some of their rules about backcourt pressure, whatever. And we don't necessarily have rules as much as just these guys get up and pressure the ball, and that you could tell that that's something that he kind of gravitates towards, and we're happy to unleash that part of him.
Said you want to do some different things, speed things up. How do you feel like that?
I think it went really well. We're challenging our defense to be very aggressive. We're challenging our guys to run the floor. So it's a pressure aspect on defense and a fast aspect on offense. And I think our guys really bought into that, and I think it contributed quite a bit to the win today.